Hello and welcome again to Reiki Women Podcasts. It's Bronwen Logan here, and I have with me a very dear friend today. And I've known Janet for too many years. I don't know how many years, lots and lots of years. Yes. So it's Janet Dobbs. Now, Janet is someone who's very close to my heart for lots of reasons, and one of them is because of animals. Yep. So she's a Reiki practitioner and teacher who works with animals, and it's her calling, her passion. And she has Animal Paradise Communication and Healing in Reston, Virginia. She has a lot of different things, but she does do a live chat with someone or an animal or something, all sorts of things on her Animal Lovers Cafe on Facebook. And it's also on YouTube. And she does that on a Friday Eastern Standard Time. So you could catch up with her there as well if you are an animal lover like me. Welcome, Janet.
Thank you, Bronwen. Thank you for having me. And I'm just so excited to be here with you. We've just kind of had some really great times together throughout. It's almost not quite a lifetime, but a good bit of our life, right?
A Reiki
It's been a
lifetime.
while. Yeah, my Reiki lifetime.
Yeah. Look, it's lovely to have you here. And, you know, we've done interviews and that before. Today we're doing one specifically for Reiki Women's Podcasts. And the very first question is the one that got you in, and that is what drew you to the system of Reiki. So, look, I'm going to sit back and let you tell me about
You're going to let me yammer.
it.
No, what got me to Reiki is so, as you mentioned, I work with animals, or I have this passion for animals as you do. And this was what got me to Reiki. It was the late 90s, mid to late 90s. I was at a advanced animal communication training. And so there were a lot of people there, all about animals. We were surrounded by animals, and each morning we came out into the main gathering area where the teacher would, the animal communication teacher would teach us. And I walked out, and there were all these females standing around in a circle doing this. I'm not doing it right, but they were smiling, and I'm like, "What you doing?" And they're like, "Reiki," and I went, "Huh?" And they're like, "Here, put your hands together and do this," and and I'm like, I don't get it. And so, of course, what they were doing was playing with energy, But I just saw that they were so happy, and I wanted some of that. And I didn't know what it was at all. They didn't explain it well at all. And I came home to this area, and there was somebody teaching a Reiki 1 class. And I'm like, boop, I'm there. And so I showed up. I had no clue what it was. But at the end of the day, and I guess I can't remember, it was 2 days, doesn't matter. It was for Reiki 1. I fell in love with it. The energy. It doesn't matter the school of thought, but that's how I first came to it. And from there, I found that as I practiced with other humans, my animals and other animals would come close. And so, in a way, part of my journey was including animals in my practice and then offering to them. And they taught me how to do it right. Because the way I was originally taught was you do things like beaming. I'm not going to point my hands at you, but it's like, oh, you're going to send the energy, right? If you do that to an animal, especially a prey animal, right? They're going to think you're attacking them, and they're going to run away. And I'm like, well, this isn't working out very well. So they kind of taught me to just kind of be, and they would take whatever they needed. And it was so interesting. So they really were some of my first teachers, the humans, of course, but.
So that's what got you into the system of Reiki, and you had this sort of understanding of this thing about humans and non-human animals. Yeah. So you started learning things. I love it always how you talk about how you learned a lot of things from the animals themselves. So how does that work?
For me, they taught me how to be and to get quiet in a different way. That might sound really weird, in a different way, because getting quiet is getting quiet. But think about, you have kitty cats, and for anybody that has a kitty cat, I think they're the kings and queens of meditation. Because you see them kind of, they might be sitting there with their legs tucked in and they're sitting up and their eyes are closed and they're so present. And yet they're so relaxed, but they're so connected to the earth and to everything. And they just radiate this beautiful themness. And so, yeah, I've had one kitty of ours take me very deep into what that's like. It's that connection with all. So just in being, he would get on my lap. I'd sit down. He'd get on my lap, the only lap kitty we ever had. He would turn into like this heating pad. It would be like almost painfully hot on my legs. And immediately I would just take this breath and go like, ah. I mean, just everything would let go. And it was like he anchored me. Okay, now you can do your meditations and your practices, or, your Reiki, whatever, or a distant healing session, but you need to be like this. And also that connection with, he was so deeply connected with the earth and the trees and the air and everything. It was so beautiful. But he taught me, and he would correct me. Like, you're not doing it right. And I've had a lot of animals tell me, like, no, that's not the right way. Well, especially offering, I would do human Reiki sessions, with humans, whether I was receiving or offering, but also with lots of animals. And they would, whether it's every species, but whether it's a horse, a dog, a cat, I didn't do Reiki with a snake. But they have their own way, their own unique way of receiving, and they'll be very clear, like, I don't like that. And
how do they do that? How do they?
Well, so what came to mind was this horse. And I was actually trying to learn different forms of energy work and massage for horses, animals, dogs, cats, whatever. But they used horses to, because they were big, like humans, bigger. And so we could learn different. So you may think I'm going off on, like, we're not talking about massage, this is Reiki. I was paired up with another person. And so as we were trying to do what we were told to do, the horse was very clear, like, no. So we both started offering Reiki. And the horse, like, just stayed in, like, and then we did hands-on. They invited us. We waited for the invitation. It was like, okay, we had our hands on, this really big horse. And then he would clearly show us, like, okay, I've had enough. And so we would back away. It's all kind of intuitive.
Yeah.
That sense of knowing. And together, she and I backed away in the silence with this horse, and the horse just had to do this big, huge circle and came back right between the two of us and was as if to say, okay, now I want more. And so that was one of my many teachers. That horse was clearly showing, like, okay, I need to stop for a second. I need to take a break. Don't go anywhere. I'm coming back, and okay, now I need some more. If we can open to the animals, because they can't. Well, they can tell us, but, they don't say human words, most of them. Some birds do. You know what I mean, though.
Oh, Janet, you are such an animal speaker. What do you want to call that? But whatever, it's so beautiful. And it is so lovely to have you here. And thank you for talking to me. Just that little snapshot about you. I love it. I love just hearing a little bit about animals always, and, our connection with them. And, that we need to really listen to ourselves, I guess, when we're with animals, and stop putting ourselves first, I guess, is this.
Well, but if you go back to the precepts, be compassionate for ourselves and others. We do need to be compassionate for ourselves and put ourselves, and then, so I think sometimes they go like, hey, take a look at you, and then you can come and be with me.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. So we need to have a look at ourselves, is what you're saying.
Yeah. With the precepts, of course, right?
Yeah. No, that sounds like a fabulous idea. And just as you say that, my little ginger boy Just come along and say hello. Good morning, Janet.
Oh, hello,
Hello.
hello, kitten.
How are you? That's Charlie.
Oh,
And
hello, Charlie.
good little boy.
Oh,
So thank you very much for sharing that
oh,
with me today and sharing your little journey into the system of Reiki. And may we have many more Reiki years together.
oh, absolutely. Thank you, and thank you so much for doing this and bringing women together in this way. I think it's so important and so special. Um, yeah. So thank
Great.
you so much.
Mwah. Big kiss. Bye, Janet.